join me for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a roll call?
Mr. Rogan?
Here.
Mr. Mueller?
Here.
Supervisor Williams?
Here. Can I get a motion on the reports?
Make a motion on the following reports. Code compliance, June 2024. Code enforcement, June 2024. Dog control officer, June 2024. ECI, June 2024. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion on the supervisor's report?
I'll make a motion to approve the supervisor's reports for May 2024. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Somebody like to make a motion on the minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the town board minutes from June 12th, 2024, as well as the minutes from June 24th, June 26th, 2024.
Second.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, on the audit of the bills, we have a summary of abstract number 12, dated June 28th, 2024, in the amount of $319,527.66. I move that we approve and accept this report. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we have one budget transfer request, number 17, for July 10th, 2024. This is the following transfers necessary to allocate funds for a conference for the town planner. We are moving $761 from contingency account to planner training account. Make a motion to approve budget transfer request number 17. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, first on my agenda is local law number 3. It is to regulate illicit discharges and connections to storm sewers. By way of some background, the town since 2004 has been required to have a stormwater program. One of the components of the stormwater program is that we need to regulate illicit discharges to storm sewers and illicit connections. An illicit discharge, for those of you paying attention, is any discharge into the storm sewer that is not comprised 100% of stormwater. So, you know, if somebody were to put a footing drain into a catch basin, that would be an illicit discharge. That doesn't mean it's completely illegal, but we would need to regulate it. The bigger concern is when somebody, and everybody around here seems to be educated well enough, but the bigger concern would be if somebody decides to run a sewer line into a catch basin, which has happened in other areas.
And many times the washing machine lines, which for some reason people don't see as sewage. They're thinking
Sure.
more the septic system, but not
Sure.
the dry wells.
Sure. So we've actually had rules and regulations on our books in different areas of the code book. You know, we've kind of cobbled together what we needed to do for the stormwater program, but in January, the DEC implemented a brand new stormwater management program requirements for the town of Patterson. And in trying to address all of the new requirements, I decided that we needed to maybe put everything together in one place in the code book, so when we get audited by the DEC, it's very easy for them to see what we've done. And that's what this law is doing. I have an introductory law here, and it is calling for a public hearing on, I believe, August 14th. Yes, August 14th. So, without further objection, I'll ask that this resolution introducing local law number 3 and providing for a public hearing and notice for Chapter 99 illicit discharges to storm sewers be entered into the record as though it were read. Do I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. So we've been notified by our state senator that potentially we could be eligible for a grant of approximately $100,000. We need to figure out what we are going to do with that, what program. It has to be something that we can get numbers on fairly quickly, because I could tell you, having been through this before, the first thing they say is, well, what's it gonna cost, and what's the legitimate source of the numbers that you're getting, an engineering estimate or something. And I have provided the board with a couple of ideas, anywhere from a water district we have that is in dire need of some upgrades to, a new generator. One of the things I did throw on my short list was a walking trail around Putnam Lake. I will say that I had a meeting this morning with our highway superintendent, highway foreman, and head of our park district, Meg Kearney, and we had a very, very good conversation about the potential of doing a walking trail around Putnam Lake, or at least a majority of the Putnam Lake, especially in front of Bob's house, that is going to be done with asphalt millings. So we're going to start moving that forward. Actually, I think we're going to start over by the Jackson Beach area. It's going to be done in phases, and we're going to work out some numbers, but that's probably going to be a little bit more of a lift than we're going to be able to do here, as far as getting the numbers together. And one of the things I did throw in here is the electric vehicle. We could purchase an electric vehicle and install a charging station, as much as I'm not crazy about that idea. It does make sense if we're talking about town vehicles that are basically staying in town.
Is that going to become a requirement by the state? They're
That's
leaning
what they
that way, right?
believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the amount of the grant? I mean, we can only do one of the things that we have on the list.
Correct. It's up to
Okay.
$100,000 if we're going to do anything that's going to be over
Over 10,
$100,000. We need to pony up the rest of the money.
I
Right.
really like the idea of the water supply improvements. Anything to improve our drinking water supply, I think, is of paramount importance. So I would be in favor of that. I liked the walking trail idea, but it sounds like that might not be, at this time, the best project for this. So, I mean, they're all great projects. I think the generator for the VFW is also a great one, to make that a cooling center and a comfort center.
Yeah.
So, they're all great. I think it's a matter of which one you think is the most appropriate use of the money.
You said you had a good meeting today regarding the trail, right?
Yes.
And what's the upshot of that?
Well, the upshot of that is...
They need the grant.
I think, no.
Okay.
Not at all. We've got a solid plan. We have quite a bit of material already stockpiled at Highway that we can use. Our highway superintendent, Ed Foster, thought he was going to be able to start it relatively soon, but we're going to have to do this in phases. We'll pick a section, we'll get the section done, we'll pick another section, and we're going to have to figure out how we're going to do it. In some cases, we're going to have to use mafia blocks to brace up the side of the hill. In other areas, we're going to have to extend pipes. There's all sorts of drainage. If you would approach the mic, state your name for the record, so the town clerk will have it.
My name Jim Hebel. I live in 230 Lakeshore Drive. Last meeting, we talked about when you decide you're gonna have the track in the side down the lake, or it's gonna be up in the side the street. So
Always in the past, apparently they've been talking about putting a walking trail in down close to the lake where they were coming through the woods. But that's proved very, very challenging to get done.
and danger.
And, well, my opinion, yes, there's a safety concern there because, young ladies, young children, walking on a walking path we build close to the lake that nobody can see what's going on, that's certainly a concern. So that's why we're now talking about doing it off the table. We're talking about just going around the lake on the edge of the road, extending the edge of the road about 4 feet, maybe 5 feet, so that people can have a safe place to walk around the lake.
You're absolutely right.
We see what's going on over there. A lot of people are walking around the lake, but they're walking in the road because they have no place else to walk. So,
I'm not being a little too noisy, but you don't think we're gonna concern about the speed fasting in the car? The car,
The
like...
danger of
and-
automobile
No,
hitting someone?
the great idea, I like it, it's good. I can see, You know what I mean? A lot of people walking with the dog, the carried, you know, like new moms, a new dad, you know what I mean? It's great. I love it. You know what I mean? But now I'm concerned about now, and like Saturday, Friday night, Saturday night, you see this young kids with the scooter or four-wheeler, you know what I mean, speeding. I called state police several times, you know what I mean? And the state police said, we cannot stop it. Well, I'm not gonna go chasing the kids, you know what I mean, because it has no registered vehicle, no helmet, you know what I mean? And now we have a helmet because you do not want me to see his face. I put camera right to the street, you know what I mean, to see what's going on. So this is gonna be a concern because if you're gonna have family and kids and people walking, we're gonna concern about speeding. So,
So, yes, I talked to another resident in Putnam Lake today about the very same issue, that on the east side of the lake, there's this straightaway, and a lot of kids are, you know, going very, very fast on that. You know, we definitely need to take a look at ways to slow them down.
speed bump. And I told you before, I will be responsible. If you want to have the temporary one, I will, seriously, I'll be responsible, you know what I mean, to remove it. And I mean, I see it in every town. I mean, even in Bedford Hills and Cherry Street, the speed bump look like you're going up the mountain. Nobody complain about snow removal or something like this. But it's very important if we want to do something, you know what I mean, it's very important to just,
Temporary speed bumps. Yes, no,
I don't even get a chance, you know what I mean, to talk to Ed, you know what I mean, but hopefully we will talk.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thank you,
you.
sir. All right, so my recommendation is that I see what I can pull together real quick with the water district, and if that doesn't work, I will see what I can pull together with the generator, and if that doesn't work, then we'll default to the electric vehicle.
That sounds like a great plan.
Is that
Yeah.
a good plan?
Sure.
Repeat that. I'm sorry.
So I'm gonna see what I can pull together, because the key on this is being able to demonstrate to the dormitory authority that the costs are real. They're gonna need, you know, some sort of proof, legitimate proof about what the costs are before they'll move this grant forward. And I'll try to get that done with Alpine, because, you know, we have an older engineering study. We can brush that off, and I can see what we can do with that. And if that doesn't hold water with DASNY, I will see what I can do about the generator, and if that doesn't work, we'll go
Electric
to
car.
the electric car.
Okay.
We are gonna have to replace Bob's car very soon. It's having more and more issues.
Yeah,
So,
that's old.
Do you feel that the Alpine stuff would be over that $100,000?
to do everything we need to do up at Alpine, yeah, we're way over the 100,000.
Okay,
But,
so it becomes, do you?
Yeah, but we'll see how much we can do for 100,000 and what's left.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
because we don't want to put that off and then try and find the, whatever it is later.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yep, I do agree.
All right, and I'll table my executive session for later in the meeting.
Okay,
Peter?
is this the only, I thought there was more than one request for building, for refund? No?
No,
Okay,
that's the only one.
okay. Okay, so moving on.
So just so everybody knows, we're
Sorry.
tabling the building department request. We need,
Refund request.
yeah, we need Mrs. Smith here to do it.
Okay.
Moving
We
on.
have conference requests. The first one is for Michael Rosenfart Jr., our town planner. He wishes to attend the New York State Erosion and Sediment Control Certification Program, and that is in Boston Spa, New York. And the total amount is $760.50. I make a motion that we approve that, and so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye. The next one is for Corinne Gannon, and that is for the New York State Associate of Magistrates Court Clerks, Inc. It's a conference, and that's at Niagara Falls, and the total cost of that is $1,007, and I make a motion that we approve that. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the next one is for the NYSAM-CCS. I believe it's the same conference, right?
Yep.
Same conference, they're both going up
Yeah.
to the court clerks.
And that's for Cindy Downs, and that was the same amount, $1,007. Make a motion that we approve that. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
What's that?
I'm done.
Okay, next, every year we have to do the, for the Office of the New York State Comptroller, the reporting of elected officials standard workday. This is for elected officials Rich Williams, Donna Ramos, Ed Foster, Peter Mutiner, and myself. So I'll make a motion that we send this standard workday report to, what do you got here?
What you gotta read?
Oh, we're gonna read it. So be it resolved that the town of Patterson, my reading glasses, hereby establishes the following standard work days for these titles and will report the officials to the New York State and local retirement based on their record of activity. So for those individuals, make a motion that we approve the filing of this document. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have a request relating to the Recreation Department and their credit card. Request that Matt Chabarro, Recreation Director, for a credit card that can be used for purchasing program supplies and food for senior lunch and other events. The policy adopted in June requires town board approval to issue a card to any town employee. The maximum limit that the credit card can have is $2,000. We can set a lower limit. He said he would recommend Rich is recommending $1,200, which seems like more than enough for supplies on a month-to-month basis. So I'll make a motion that we approve this request as submitted and amended by Supervisor Williams to a maximum of $1,200. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And there is an attachment to the credit card policy, which is set up for the town. And next, we have a request to approve a new member or members for the Putnam Lake Fire Department. Obviously contingent upon all background checks and trainings. And so we have a request for Grant Amato to be accepted as a member in the Putnam Lake Fire Department. I'd like to make a motion to introduce this resolution and ask that it be entered into the record as though read. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are you okay?
Sure.
Other business. So we got this either Monday or Tuesday, a senior trip request for Putnam Lake seniors. The trip name is Log Cabin Day Trip. Estimated number of participants is 50. Ticket sales is $70 per person. Net cost to the town budget is $2,450. I'd like to approve the requested senior trip, Log Cabin Day Trip, as submitted. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have a luau at Warren Beach, adults 21 and older only. Saturday, July 20th. Luau begins at 7 p.m. and ends at 11:30. Everyone must exit the beach at 11:30, no exceptions. Tickets must be purchased online, $35 a person, at pattersonny.myrec.com or call 845-878-7200. Surprise. All right, and that is all I have. Anyone else? All right, public recognition. Is there anyone joining us here tonight who would like to ask any questions or make any comments to the board? If you would approach the mic and give your name and address for the record. You got
Of course
anything
we
you want
do.
to say? You can say it.
Long you don't put my picture outside the door, I have no problem. What are we gonna do about cleaning? I mean, I know we're talking about, we're gonna do the walk-in, but some area it's just like a lot of like this like Japanese.
Japanese knotweed?
Yeah.
Okay. I talked to an individual today who has a horticultural background, and I did pass his name on to Meg Kearney, and she's going to reach out to him. I've asked for 3 years now the Park Advisory Board to come up with a vegetative plan for what we're going to do with the vegetation around the lake. I know Meg,
Pull the wheat. Pull the wheat.
they grow back.
Okay. I mean, when I bought my house, you know, I mean, it was
Sure.
like up like this. Now you can
Yes.
see. I mean, I still have a lot, but it's just.
So, I know Meg and the park board is now focused on that to some degree. This year, in the spring, we try to get a couple of contractors in to cut vines and clear some of the stuff out. I know that didn't work out. We couldn't come to terms. We did have the park maintenance individual go around and cut vines for a few days. So
A
at
lot of
least-
work.
Yeah, oh, it's a
A lot of work.
tremendous amount of
a
work.
lot of work and a lot
Yeah.
of time.
Yep.
It's cheaper if you find somebody, you know, to do the job and you get paid.
Yes.
Include me. I will.
Okay, so hopefully there's a park advisory board meeting tomorrow night. I encourage that individual to go and.
You come in?
I will be there, and I was going to ask you, encourage you to attend.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be at Warren Beach tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So, you know, and have the conversation with the park advisory board. You know, I've said this before. You know, way back when this all started, where the town took everything over, we created a park advisory board of your neighbors with the intent that your neighbors were going to decide how the lake was going to be managed, how the park properties were going to be managed. And they're advisory to the town board, but, you know, we generally have always listened to whatever they had to say, you know, and whether we agree or we don't agree, and sometimes we have not agreed, we still have gone along with their recommendations. But things haven't worked out so well in the past. We're hopeful that we've infused the new board with new blood and new ideas. And listen, we've already seen things have been much better. The lake, for the most part, has been algae-free. We had a little bit of a hiccup last week where somebody thought they saw something, and unfortunately, when the health department rules are, if you think you may have a problem, you have to close the beach till the problem goes away, and then we'll test for it. And if there's anything there, then we'll tell you. Well,
Like somebody asks you, where's your ear? You go like this.
yeah.
Turn around another side.
Yeah.
But we can't.
So-
what do you think if we say like every member, like every like owner, house owner, you be responsible for do the side like during like rule and regulation, you know?
So, again, I'm not opposed to however the people in Putnam Lake want to manage that park land, whether you want to keep it the way it is, or you want to make it all lawn, or someplace in between. I'm not opposed to any of it, but we do need a plan about, you know, what people can do and what they can't do, right?
Absolutely.
And then there's a liability issue, right? So
Yes.
we can't have, you know, everybody just going onto the Park District property, you know, maybe with a chainsaw, slipping, cutting themselves and suing the town. So if you want to do things like that, there are release forms that you're going to have to sign.
Yes, I signed one. So.
So-
No, I understand, but the same. I mean, if we have rule and regulation, like we say, you know, I mean, you're only allowed to do this and this and that, and if you cross the line, after that you'll be.
Then you get
know,
penalized.
You'll be. That's it. But again, you know, I mean, somebody gets chainsaw, you're not allowed to have a chainsaw down there. You know, so if somebody will see it or somebody, you know, you're going to be responsible in your own. I mean, exactly the same if we're going to tell people, you know, I mean, we're going to build nice walking place, and if the child fall off or the stroller there was a hole in the side and fall off the kids, and the mom doesn't trap him, something happened, we're gonna be responsible for it?
Unfortunately, yes. In that instance, the answer is yes.
So it's almost like, this hand with another hand. If we're gonna tell the people, listen, you business, you you own your house, so you're responsible to clean up from here to here. And just like certain, like a lot of, I can let people sign a list, people will love to do it. So just keep it in mind.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
I'm not talking.
Oh.
Done.
Jeez, you started something last meeting.
Robert Odell, Lakeshore Drive, Patterson. How wide is the trail going to be?
It's going to vary in width, but on an average 4 feet, I would say. It may be 5 feet in some
It's going to
areas.
be right next to the road?
We're going to keep it right off the shoulder of the road.
Yeah, what are you going to do about people that are parking along the side of the road?
Well, we did have that conversation as well, because there's going to have to be a prohibition about anybody parking on the lakeside of the road if the trail is going to be there, and it's going to be enforceable.
Okay.
Anyone else? All right, not hearing any further comment from the audience we have here, I'll open it up to any member joining us by Zoom. If you would just unmute and state your name and address for the record and ask your question or make your comment. As no one is unmuting, I will make a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.